Youth participation is more important than ever at this time when we're seeing such economic difficulties where young people have been at the forefront of budget cuts around the cities all over the country. And this is the time where we need to really be behind our youth, because if you believe in a better future for Britain, and I do, the future for Britain is our young people. And should we not support our young people, we won't have a brighter future. It's a time where we've got to make sure that whatever we do, we don't have a group of young people who are disadvantaged and disenfranchised from the system. The requirement to involve young people in politics is paramount at this minute, where young people are feeling disenfranchised from the political system because of lack of involvement. We need to make sure that these young people feel part of the system, and these young people know how the system works, to encourage these young people and open up public office for these young people. Because as we know, politics over time has become more and more elitist. Young people from disadvantaged areas, such as some parts in Leicester, are feeling more disenfranchised from the system. And if we don't do anything now, it'll be too late. We can't afford to have another generation of apathetic young people who don't take part in the system. And you can't blame them, because the lack of political education in our schools is the reason why young people don't feel so involved in the system as a whole. Recently, we saw the riots caused a lot of disruptions in Leicester, but the speed to which Leicester got back onto its feet shows the energy and the dedication of the people of Leicester. The next morning after the riots, we recruited thousands of young people to go out and sweep the mess of a few minorities who made a bit of a mess the night before. The speed to recovery and the resilience of the city is something we need to celebrate, but we can't be complacent about it. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done to target those young people who could make a really big positive contribution to the city but don't feel part of the system enough. We need to go out and reach more to these young people. There's a wealth of talent out there. Leicester in itself is a reservoir of potential opportunity which needs to be explored, and I urge decision makers to go out there and try and get into better dialogue with young people, meaningful dialogue, not dialogue just for the sake of ticking boxes, which young people see you once in 5 years. You pledge to serve young people as well as the electorate. Just because under 16s don't have the vote doesn't mean they don't need to be heard. This is the time where you need to involve in dialogue. And that's the only way you can get young people more involved. We've had some brilliant projects all over the country which are displaying some brilliant work where young people are doing, whether that's the Youth Parliament, which we'll be debating in the House of Commons on November the 4th, which you'll be able to see on BBC Parliament. That's a testament to the fact that even politicians on a national level now understand the fact that young people are more ready than ever to make an influence on decision. That's why they've opened the doors of Parliament. Somewhere too, which John was speaking about earlier, has had the Prime Minister open up Downing Street to young people. It's the fact that these decision makers on a national level are realizing the importance of involving young people. This needs to be replicated on a local level as well. Our local decision makers need to understand the significance and importance of young people in decision. And should we not do that, we're doing a disservice to our own city. Our city is full of brilliant young people with fresh ideas, a new lease of life to politics. That politics which has been tainted over the years as something of a dirty word, that can be changed. And the only way you can change that is by involving the young people. The young people are full of fresh ideas and new energy which needs to be explored. These young people can have a very positive contribution to Leicester and make Leicester a much better place. And when we talk about community cohesion, the community cohesion I believe in is not about building barriers between communities where communities lead segregated parallel lives to each other. That's not the community cohesion I believe in. The community cohesion I believe in is holding better dialogue between communities, opening up Leicester. As in, when we talk about One Leicester, I believe in something which is the ongoing pledge of Leicester, the place where community cohesion is meaningful, where dialogue is open so young people and adults alike can mix with different communities to ensure that the pledge of Leicester goes on and young people under the banner of One Leicester meet with different communities and work together as One Leicester rather than parallel lives in different communities, segregated Leicester. That's not what the Leicester we believe in. The doctrine of multiculturalism, when politicians say multiculturalism is dead in our country, that's not true. And it's disheartening as well to see that politicians are saying that. The fact that more work needs to be done on a local level to ensure communities get together rather than lead their own small communities is what needs to be done. And I think that's an initiative young people could take as well, and young people are doing so well. We've seen with projects like O2 Think Big, which gives out funding to young people to run their own projects. Somewhere too, which opens up spaces for young people. We've seen young people from all communities, all talents and all backgrounds come together and raise issues which are really important to them, hold community cohesion events, and it's been really good. And what we need to do is implement that and replicate that within adults as well. And this is somewhere where decision makers need to stop being a bit more conservative about their beliefs and thinking of community cohesion as a tabooed subject rather than facing it forefront. We need to make sure that our decision makers are quite open as well and confident, just like the young people, in ensuring community cohesion happens on a better level as well. Thank you.